Yeah, so my name is Eric. I'm 58 years old. I'm French. I'm a Singapore PR. I've been in Singapore for a total of 15 years. I did a very classic cursus with the MBA back in France. Then I went into sales and export sales. So as a young man, I was very quickly traveling all over the world for a company. As a young export manager, I was interviewed by a professional magazine, and back then I told them that I loved that job so much that I would do it for free. And little did I know, the HR director read the article, and then he asked me into his office. I didn't know why. I was a bit nervous, and he said, "I have an article here saying that you would do this job for free." I was like, not really. But in fact, I liked it so much that I would have practically done it for free. I always had an interest in classic cars. When I was back in France, I owned an old Land Cruiser, an old Land Rover. I had a vintage motorcycle, also Yamaha XT500. And when I came to Singapore 12 years ago, when I arrived from Europe, I was absolutely horrified at the price of cars. It takes about 10 years for a European to wrap his head around the price of cars here. There is a joy in driving a classic, to me at least. In a way, it's the feeling also of the first cars that I ever owned. When I started driving when I was 18, 19. In general, you get a lot of nice comments, when you drive a classic. You have older people who come up to you and tell you, "Oh yeah, my uncle had this one, or I had one." And also, it's cool also when you meet somebody who has the same model. So usually we end up talking in a car park. I remember I met once a gentleman who had the same car, and he had bought it new in 1980 something, and he had driven it for 30 years. So that's quite remarkable. I'm also amazed that I get a lot of good comments from young people. I get a lot of 20-something-year-old who come up to me or they smile or they wave at the car. I had a pretty good start in life, I have to say. I had a very good career early on and successful career. And it made me very entitled, not very humble. I think that, for men, at least I lacked a lot of maturity, a lot of awareness also of women's point of view. I think in general, society and men have made a lot of progress in this area over the last 20 or 30 years. I certainly have. And so listening to your wife's point of view or your partner's point of view is key, because there are striking differences between the point of view of men and women, and I think I didn't listen much when I was young, but eventually I hope I do more now. So I think the advice that I would give to any young man would be to enjoy what you have, but be ready for the difficulties to come. Be humble, be thankful. All things that I lacked as a young man.